Hey everybody, it's Annette coming to you on June the 12th, 2026. And it has been a hot one. We've had a significantly hot week. So I'm going to do another video later on self-defense. But tonight I'm going to talk about some of the struggles in keeping livestock and plants alive. Again, this year it's herbs. I have the one tomato plant doing really well. So some of the things I've had to do now that we've got, sorry. We'll probably hear a lawnmower in a minute. My neighbor's cutting his grass, and you literally have to wait till the sun starts going down a little bit, and sometimes you don't even get relief off of that. But you cannot, in the middle of the day, it's too hot. It was 92, and that plus the humidity, I don't know what it feels like walking around the yard, because I have to check on the birds and give them their water. The mama keeps kicking straw in the water, so I have to replenish their water, check everybody's water. I got another mama down there who has been sitting on eggs, hatched one a few days ago, and is still sitting on the eggs. I'm kind of waiting on her to get off of the eggs so that I can move her and the baby to a safer spot. The lower run is the one that is most prone, because it's so close to that wood line behind me. It's more prone to snakes and predators. Primarily, my biggest concern at this time with the little one is snakes, because you will lose. Snakes love the eggs, and I've been collecting them as quickly as I can, but they will eat your baby birds. So I just I'm ready to do a relocation. I'm going to check on her tonight and see if she's still back on that dang clutch of eggs. And if she is, I'll hold off a little bit longer and just keep praying nothing happens. I wanted to share with you a couple things I'm doing, because at this point, and as it's this hot and continues on this trend, as it likely will, there are things that I have to do to keep stuff alive. Things I've learned from last year, and a big struggle trying to keep birds from overheating, keeping them ventilated. We did lose two. I don't know if it was heat related or not. I suspect it might be, even though we did everything we could. When I'm at home working, I'm able to let them out earlier and monitor them occasionally, keeping one eye on them as I work, and just get up and periodically check on everybody. But we have another wood line on that side that's a fenced in area, and I think they try to do it with whoever built this house had like a garden and maybe some small trees. Well, it's very grown up there, and it's a very cool, shady area, and they love taking the dust baths there. So whenever I'm able to, on days when I am working at the house, they're getting out earlier just to get out of the heat. Even though I'm having to look to see what all I did. Lifted the tarps up on the coop, trying to get as much airflow as possible, checking the water, and that'll lead me to this part. I got this last year because it was just getting so dangerously hot. Couldn't keep water cold. I mean, I was adding ice cubes. I was doing everything. I mean, I was really working my tail to keep everybody alive. I got this. It's called Hydro-Hen. And this one I did get at Tractor Supply, I believe. It's supplement for inclusion in drinking water. So you put a scoop in, like a gallon of water, and it says this bag it's a 1.25 pound bag. It makes 56 1 gallon servings. So that's a lot of servings. It was at the time $15.99 when I bought it last year. But scoop inside, mix with water, real easy. It gives them electrolytes, probiotics, acidifiers, I can't say that word. But the electrolytes primarily is what I was focused on adding to their water when I was doing some research and trying to see how other people were doing it. And even though I've been doing this going on now, oh gosh, roughly 12 years, it just seemed like last year was exceptionally hot and the winter was exceptionally cold. It just seems like we are seeing more extremes. So for the birds, did this, keep it ventilated. We've got a fan that we will be putting back out that will not blow directly on the birds. We put it on the ground and run a cord to the nearest outlet and just have some air circulating from that fan in the thick of summer. And that kind of helped with some of the airflow. And I was opening up tube doors. I was doing everything I could for them to get airflow and just some relief. So we're only 2 or 3 days into extreme heat. So I'm really trying to stay on top of it as best as I can. I've got most of my smaller herbal plants pushed under the grow table or right under the awning or whatever, the edge of the grow table where I do my work and repot things. And then last night I did add some shade cloth around there. The other thing, if you don't have it already and you're growing things outside, this is like one of the best investments I've ever made. It's shade cloth. I've got it protecting some winter squash right now. I've got it protecting my herbs. The other herbs that are more heat tolerant, I'm not doing anything with them right now other than everybody gets watered every evening unless we've had a good rain. And we've not had one in about a week. And when we had it a couple weeks ago or whatever, it really came down heavy. Everything got really replenished and moist and almost too much, especially in Western North Carolina, because they still have issues. The landscape will never be what it was post Hurricane Helene. People are struggling to rebuild because now the government or the entities that provide those permits, well, you can't build there. Well, that's our land. We don't have a home anymore where we're supposed to live. So they're dealing with that. And then they were dealing with the extra rain and other problems on an already unstable environment ecosystem and still trying to recover from that mess. This will be a years-long process. I don't know what's going to happen to the people who are having this battle with the government in order to rebuild. And obviously, we knew it was going to happen. Everybody's insurance went up. Homeowners insurance. We knew we were going to pay for this hurricane. Even though we didn't file claims and many other people didn't file claims. But it was such an astronomical amount of devastation that, yeah, mine increased, I think, $400. I knew it was going to. I went and looked at the bill, and then I'm like, doesn't make me happy. I knew it was going to happen right now since it's built into my escrow and everything. As long as my house payments are at a fixed rate, I'm not sweating about it right now. But yeah, it did go up and we knew that was going to happen. And anyway, this shade cloth, it comes in a roll. I got it off of Amazon, $26 maybe, I'm guesstimating. And I think it was 50 feet long and then 4 or 5 feet wide. So you can cut it to fit whatever area you need to cover. So it's covering my plants on the patio, all my herbs on the patio. I now put it over here. The squash was looking a little bit unhappy. And then some of the smaller herbs were looking like they were getting a little bit wilty quickly. Some plants have not made it. I got a hummingbird bush that no matter where I put it, grow light in the winter, and then it's under our house awning right now in the shade and it's getting watered. Some are not going to make it, and that's out of my control. But I've learned over the years that if I don't, I mean, realistically, nobody's going to get 100%. I think that was the lesson it took till I was this old to figure it out, that you're not going to get 100% success. You aim for the highest success rate possible and then go with that. You try to get the best you can, but there's no guarantee. We can't control the weather. We can't control pests when they come. There's certain things we can do, but we just can't control everything in our environment. So if you have something that dies and you've done your best with it, don't beat yourself up over it. That was one of the most difficult things when I really started this above ground bed stuff and this bucket planting and all this other stuff, was that I was really taking it personally that if things died, like I failed them. I mean, some plants will do well, some won't. There were some pots I left out over the winter, all winter long, that didn't have any green on them at all. I have got new life coming. I've got herbs coming up from them. So they laid dormant over the winter and they're coming up, and I'm just pleased as punch. So we do the best we can with the weather and the elements we're given. We are still on schedule for building our raised bed garden. I handed my husband the first sum of money to go purchase supplies because he knows what we need. I had drawn out the diagram. He did the measurements. He's the carpenter. So he knows what we need, how much of what we need. So I think the whole project's going to be roughly $1,400, and I'm just giving him what I can give him now. I said, let's just build it as we go. So we're starting off. I'm sending him with my first installment. He's going to get the supplies, and we're just going to build from there. And as I get the money, then obviously I plan to finish this summer. But as I get the money and send him to get some supplies, we will continue to add to it. And then saving the cardboard for the base, because that's a whole nother video to talk about the layering of things to where you're not putting a whole sack of dirt in all these above ground beds, because that's ridiculous expensive, and it's not really, from what I've heard, the best method for draining and creating a healthy ecosystem. There's the cardboard stick leaf layering, and we can discuss that later because I've got to go back and read the pattern. I know it in my head, but like when I'm going to talk about it, I think I need to do a refresher on that as to what each thing, not necessarily the things and the order that they go in, but what role each one plays in the ecosystem of your above ground bed. So that's what's going on. I'm going to get into a t-shirt I don't care about and go back out there and take care of the birds while this uploads. I hope some of that was helpful. The electrolytes again, Hydro Hen supplement. Think of it as, I mean, it's electrolytes. You know how we need them in the summer when we go outside and we're needing to replenish fluids and salt loss and stuff like that. Well, birds use it too. So this is safe for the birds. And I mark my bottles so that I'll know which ones have the electrolytes in it, and I don't prepare too many ahead of time. I'll do like a couple gallons and then spread it among the runs. And then the cloth. One thing I will say about the shade cloth is that after when a season ends, I was able to take these off, fold them up, put them in a bucket with a lid, and just store them that way, so they're reusable. They will let rain come through. They protect your plants. There's different percentages of sun protection you can get, and I don't remember what kind I got, but it's working. It helps out a lot. It makes a big difference than just having the sun constantly beat. It just creates such a barrier or something. So the fact that it's breathable, you can still get to your plants if you need to tend to them or pull vegetables off or harvest herbs. And then it gets the rain and there's no trouble watering them because, again, you can get water through that. And if it's not covering the base, aim your hose wherever. But the ones I have on the patio, I just water go right through it with the hose. So I hope those two things are something that you've been able to learn today. I hope I brought something to the table that you can take as you take care of plants, chickens, and yourself. Please, please, please stay hydrated. And I highly encourage, I felt something biting my leg. There's the electrolytes that you can get, assortment of 30, and they're at Walmart and Amazon, and $5.97 for a box of 30. And I'm filling up like a 32-ounce water bottle with it. And one packet a day is really, it goes such a long way. I'll put the whole packet in there, and then if I need to add water to it, you can add more water to it. It's not like a real watery electrolyte. It's a good electrolyte, and it's got excellent flavor. So take care of you and yours. Take care of the animals, livestock, and the wild animals. We do have water out for them too. Take care of your plants, and don't try if at all possible not to get out in the peak time of the heat, because heat stroke is very, very real, and it just can get dangerous out there. Just be safe, friends. Love y'all. Have a great night. I'm gonna get to work.